Hello, how's my favorite viewers out there? Well, it's Nathan and we're back. Alright, so happy Thanksgiving to all you guys, all my friends and families out there as well. Well, if you watch this video a day late or a couple days late, wait a year and it'll still be Thanksgiving. Okay, so in this video, this is my 2022 buyer's guide to vacuums. Yes, it's already 2022, almost 2023, and there's a lot of new innovations with vacuums. Alright, so the first model we have, which I highly recommend, especially if you don't mind spinning the dough, is the Roborock S7 MaxV Ultra. This thing is a beast. Alright, so Roborock really stepped up the game for 2022 and literally brought every possible feature. You got that front-facing camera, so all those magical unicorns, that poo, that shoestring, well, that's a no-go. This robot vacuum will avoid it. Also, it's one of the more powerful robot vacuums out there. Close to 5,000 pascals of suction, has crazy long battery life, around 180 minutes. As you can see, with that obstacle avoidance, you got a long list of features. You can avoid pet poo, you can avoid your children. Okay, maybe I lied on that one, but this thing literally avoids everything. Now, the S7 MaxV isn't for everyone, especially if you don't want a complex robot vacuum. So let's jump into something that's a little bit less complex, but one of my highly recommended robot vacuums. Okay, so the reason why the Roborock E5 stood out is the fact that it's priced pretty competitively. With the E5, you have the handy dandy remote, you have the similar suction as more expensive models, you have mopping, and the fact that it navigates pretty well. You don't necessarily need to use your smartphone to start the robot, and you can steer the robot around, you can change the power levels, and you can even tell the robot vacuum to go home without ever using your smartphone. Alright, so maybe you want to step it up a notch. The DreameTech D9 isn't much more expensive than the E5, but offers a lot more features. For example, you have Lidar navigation, which is basically the leading technology for robot vacuums. The D9, why does it stand out? Well, it's been a really consistent performer, very similar to how the Roborocks navigate, and DreameTech has been a pretty good company. They regularly update the software, have parts readily available, and they price their robot vacuums pretty competitively. We can't have a proper buyer's guide without talking about iRobot. Now, I know they just recently got acquired by Amazon. Not sure how I feel about that. Hopefully for the best. Hopefully they don't change iRobot's philosophy where they make decent robot vacuums without crazily innovating and adding useless features. Main reason why you should get a iRobot product is they've been known to last forever. Some users have them for about 5 to 7 years, and the fact that they have one of the best self-emptying systems out there. Now, no other robot vacuum I currently test can compete with iRobot's self-emptying technology. So you may be persuaded with some fancy technology. So for example, the ViniBot N1 had some pretty impressive features. Had a self-lifting mopping system, had a mopping pad that can self-wash, and the fact that it could transition over carpet without getting the carpet wet if it was mopping. Pretty cool features. But unfortunately, the ViniBot, the features didn't translate really well in the real world. Had some quality issues, had some app issues. Also, the fact that the robot sits pretty tall, definitely struggled getting under furniture like chair legs, bed frames, etc., etc. Alright, so word of advice, if it's a fancy flashy robot vacuum that has an odd shape, I definitely don't recommend it because robot vacuums are designed just to clean, go under furniture, and they don't need to be flashy, they don't need to have fancy colors or sit up a million miles high. As at the Roborock Q series, I was kind of disappointed with the performance of the self-emptying system. So if you are planning on getting a cheaper Roborock with self-emptying, definitely look into like the older S7 or even like the S7 MaxV, and then later on get the self-emptying system, which is backwards compatible with the older S7 self-emptying. By the way, you can get a canister system, so no longer do you have to use disposable bags. That's an option for the Roborock models. Alright, so let's talk about some new models that came out for 2022. We have the L10S Ultra, which is probably my newest model I tested here on this channel. And we also have the X1 Omni, which really towers over the competition. If you want every feature in the book, the X1 Omni won't disappoint. It's one of the first robot vacuums that have onboard voice assistant. So yes, tell this robot vacuum to clean a specific area without the need to hook up a third-party voice assistant. Now, the L10S Ultra holds its own, has some pretty unique features like self-lifting mopping pads. Both these robot vacuums can auto-wash the mopping pads, dry the mopping pads. They have front-facing cameras. They have Lidar sensors. This thing is crazy. These robot vacuums are the top dogs. So if you want every feature in the book, definitely check out the X1 series or the L10 series. An absolute strict budget, I definitely would recommend not getting the light and easy. It only has a suction only port, and just from my past history, you really need an extractor bar for it to be somewhat of a decent vacuum. I recommend going with the name brand just from what I personally experienced, from the availability of customer service, the parts, and also just the reliability. Name brands typically tend to last longer, and they tend to do a little bit better overall. Now, you may have to spend a little bit more money on a name brand. So for example, Roborock, iRobot, they tend to be a little more expensive, but some cheaper name brands like DreameTech, Xiaomi, you can get some decent models. Now, trying to narrow down a very specific model for you is a pretty tough challenge, especially if I don't know what type of floor plan you have. So if you want me to help you, let me know down in the comments. I can actually help choose the right robot vacuum for you. I do spend the time and I reply back to you guys, and I think this is important so I can help build a strong relationship to you guys, because ultimately it's based on you guys. I'm here to help you guys, and I really want to bring light to robot vacuums to you guys, because I enjoy robot vacuums. I love robots, and that's why I did this channel. Pascals themselves isn't necessarily a huge factor. You may have one robot vacuum that has higher Pascal, yet does better at cleaning, or vice versa. So another thing to consider besides Pascals is how the bristles are. You either have an all rubber brush design, or you have one that's a hybrid bristles and rubber brush. If you're a pet owner and you have a dog that sheds long hair, or you have a significant other that sheds long hair, having an all rubber brush design makes it a little bit easier to clean off the brush rolls without requiring a tool, unlike the hybrid style. Now, another thing to consider is features. I know this might be kind of a given question, but there's some features that people may not know of. Some of these robot vacuums have cameras, so yes, they act like security cameras. You can check in on your pets, your loved ones. Also, some robot vacuums like the X1 Omni has onboard microphones, so that allows it to have two-way communication. You can use voice assistant. The list goes on and on. Now, some of you might be in the market for a higher-end robot vacuum that does a lot of things. So for example, this Lidar, I believe this is the W2, has self-emptying, self-washing. Also, the docking station can heat the mopping pad, so it helps dry to prevent mildew. With all these features said and done, keep in mind you still have to maintain the robot. The robot itself has to be maintained, and since the docking station is more complex with the washing features, you still have to maintain that as well. You might have to check in the filters, you might have to check the water tanks, make sure that they're not empty, and the fact that you have to empty out the bag. If you go bagless, like on a Shark IQ, it's pretty easy, but with the bag system, you do have to remember to place out the bags. So despite this being more of a hands-off vacuum, keep in mind there is still maintenance involved. Whew, wow, this is tiring. There was a lot to talk about, but I thought it was important to talk about what to look for and what not to get. Okay, so let's wrap this up. Basically, my best recommendation is to try one out. Pick a model that you think would work best for you. Try it out. Usually, online stores, big box stores have a 15 to 30 day return policy, so it really gives you a hands-on experience on how these robot vacuums will behave in your home. Now, there may be some nuances, some quirks in the app, some software, which you may not see on video here on my channel or on some other YouTubers' channel. So just definitely try it out and try to narrow it down. It's okay to return them, because that's the whole point of the process, is to find the best robot vacuum for your home or for your friends and family. Okay, so again, happy Thanksgiving. Hope you guys are safe out there. Until next time, see you later. I gotta go eat some turkey now. Bye.